Hey, everybody, it's Tim Gillette, and we're back with another Tim Gillette show, and Patti Troisi is my guest today. I met Patti now through another friend of mine, Jake Valentine. If you've seen, Jake was on one of my shows, I think last October, something like that. So basically, since then, Jake has held a conference. I have held a conference. I've got another conference coming up, all right? But Jake introduced me to this cool chick, Patti, and I mean, she's a cool chick. She might not like me being call her a chick, but hey, whatever. I'm, you know me. I never get anything right the first time. I screw it up and then ask for apologies later. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about her background. All right, I know a few more things about her because I've met her in person. All right, unlike some of the interviews that I do where I don't know anything about them until I get them on screen. Well, this one here I know a little bit because I've been on her show. Well, her series, which I'm sure she's going to do another one. She'll talk to us about that too today. But this is going to be a fun times, guys. As always, when have you not come to one of my broadcasts and had fun? All right. So the Tim Gillette Show, let's bring on Patti Troisi. Hey.
Hey, hello.
Hey, how are you doing? Cooped up inside.
Should I hold back or should I be real? I'm so happy to be here, Tim. You know I love you. You know I love what you're up to. And I'm just super happy when people are connecting and putting out video content right now. So this makes me happy.
Yeah. Luckily, we have the tools and to do it. All right. I don't know about you, but like all of a sudden now everybody's on the internet and half my tools are down. And I'm like,
I know everybody's on the internet, and that's a really great thing because people are actually using this virtual reality that we have to connect, and we really need that right now. So it's a blessing. Super good.
Yep. So, but anyway, enough about the crap going on in the world.
Really? Because we haven't talked about it enough.
It's like, you know what I mean? I have the financial news on and they're talking about it. First of all, today was the first time in a week and a half that I've left my house. And I left my house and I said, screw it. I want a cup of coffee. I'm going out and finding somebody who can give me a cup of coffee. I was like, that's it. I stopped over and got my truck inspected because like there's nobody in line over there. Like there's no lines anywhere.
You wear a mask?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if it's gonna kill me, it's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna stop it. I'm like, I'm in this for the ride. I've been on since this started. All right, I've been on 12 flights, stayed in like 8 hotels.
Oh my God.
So it's like I'm not heavily worried. But then talking to my doctor this week, because I do a 6-month checkup because I have epilepsy. And she said, remember that thing that you had last October? She says, I'll bet you, because we couldn't identify that it was a coronavirus.
Oh, no kidding. Did you have all the symptoms, like the typical symptoms?
Yeah, I had all the symptoms. And she said, because she said, tell me all these symptoms that you had back then, and we couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
All right. But luckily, the only other illness I have is epilepsy. So I don't have breathing problems or anything like that. So 14 days, it was gone and over with.
14 days. Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Like I've had this like cold thingy, whatever, for weeks now. So it's crazy. Who knows who's had it and they just didn't know.
Yeah.
The only thing we could do is like, follow what they're suggesting. I think I would suggest, people follow that because we want to err on the safe side. Unlike you living on the edge. Are you hearing an echo?
No, I'm not.
I am.
Uh-oh.
But as long as our viewers aren't hearing it, we're good. Maybe it's this thing. Should I take it off? Let's see. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Okay,
can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a funky little echo, but whatever. We can always hear you, Tim.
I'm like, is this on? Hello.
Oh, sound. So funny being an actress for over 20 years. And now, I'm doing my own video content, which I love. But, you show up on set and you've got a whole crew and they take care of everything. They take care of lighting and, you just show up. You're really spoiled. It's true. So being an entrepreneur.
Did that make you anal retentive about everything you do on video?
Oh my God. Well, here's the thing. Did I answer?
I'm sorry. That's the response.
Well, here's the thing, like you show up, like everything is done for you. So the only thing you need to focus on is your script and your copy, like, what you're saying. So copy for content creators. And so even last looks, like you show up on camera, there's somebody to look at makeup and check your lips. And I'm like, oh, my lips get a little dry. So you're kind of spoiled. And you show up for your art, like you show up to tell the story, which is amazing. And there's major challenges we deal with as actors that entrepreneurs deal with, which is like sometimes you're not talking to a person like we are today. You're talking to the camera, and you need to still connect to that person out there, and you're looking at electronic little round thing.
The blue dot?
What?
Was it the blue dot or the red dot?
Oh, right.
I'm looking at the green dot. I know exactly. If you remember the conference we were just at together with Jake, Michelle was there, and Michelle and I did this video together. And Michelle goes up, okay, so where's your? So there's your camera. Okay, now we know where to look. All right, and I love that. I'm like, never thought about that. Michelle just like does it, and I'm like,
he does it because that's what we did. Like you're on camera, right? So you just have to know where to put your eyes, which once you do it, you know how to do it. But it's really important that you're talking. Listen, Mr. Rogers, this was his trick. And I bring this up all the time because he's somebody that most of us can relate to because most of us watched that amazing show when we were kids. He would pick the one child he was talking to. And guys, I'm just saying this because a lot of times, again, you're just talking to that one little light, that one little lens. He'd pick the one person, the one child he was talking to, and that's how he delivered his show. And we all know how effective that was.
Yeah.
If you just think of that one person, you can really bring your heart through the lens and into the heart of your audience. And I really, really support people in doing that. It's like a major.
I know a video person from out there in California, Carrie Murphy. I don't know if you know Carrie.
I don't know Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie actually teaches that very same thing. She teaches, create all of your content by focusing in on one person.
She's so smart.
Yeah. And that's it. So you're in the content creation game. All right. You've done you're doing some coaching and mentoring now, but I'll bet you there's a story about how you got here. Is there?
There's a huge story.
Let's talk about that story.
Crazy. So 20 years I've been an actress. And recently I was going through a lot of life changes. I had a divorce. And so I forced myself to really look at my life. And I realized that I was actually shy, and a shy actress who was afraid to get on camera and share my authenticity, like the real who I am and my messaging. Because I've been coaching for a really long time and I was kind of hiding out. And so I decided at that time I wasn't going to hide out anymore. And I was going to share what I learned about why I was hiding out, why I was shy, with entrepreneurs and business owners, because I have a business background in how to get on camera and how to get over your obstacles and things holding you back and just press record and get your message out there. So yeah, that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
It's funny when, no matter how much, the people I've been interviewing during this series is how much I find out that where they're at. And some of them are like the story that got them there. Yeah. Is I never find it to be a direct story. There's always like hills and valleys and valleys and valleys, and like life right now, valleys and valleys and
like the dips and the, it's like this trajectory, this crazy path we're on right now.
So you got into this game now. I mean, you did it a couple months ago now. Has it been a couple months or been a month? I can't remember.
A couple months. Yeah. It's been quite a journey. The thing of it is when you really look at your story, whatever that story is, it's the true gold of your messaging. Nobody, listen, I'm telling you this as an actress in Hollywood who's always in competition, right, for roles. There really is no competition if you're showing up 100% authentically as yourself, as Tim Gillette. Come on, you're the perfect example here. but you show up as yourself and you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. So you really have to embrace and embody that story that you have that no one else has.
So let me ask you then, all right, showing up as yourself and being you, all right, in the acting world, all right, you have to show up as a character.
Yes.
All right. Now, how does it compare now from your acting days of showing up at studying to be a character, putting yourself in a character, and now you're like, oh, I can show up to be me.
Yeah.
Did you have a problem transitioning from that?
It's funny. I really believe, and I do work with people on this, that we all have our personal mythologies. Like Audrey Hepburn. She, Katharine Hepburn always never had a guy. In every story she tells, in every movie she does, she's the woman who just never had the guy. She never kept the guy. For all of us, we have our personal mythologies. Yours is one of them is a rock star. Like no matter where you show up, people think you're a rock star. Like it's just authentically what you finally just embraced in your story, right? That you tell everyone in your public speaking, and what has brought you the greatest amount of success because it's authentically who you are. One of my mythology stories is that, a couple of them are friends with the fairies, heart as deep as the ocean, these little phrases, at control in the control tower, but lost the directions, things like that. Like, forever the teacher, these are things I've had people come up to me in parks, and not now, but back before the virus, and hand me their babies while they ran to the bathroom. People that didn't even know me, because they have a sense of trust with me. And they should, because I am that person. Like, I'm not going to drop you. If I can do anything possible to not drop you, I won't. But referring back to acting, a lot of my characters in comedy specifically are in the control tower, lost the directions. So, if you relate that to comedy, it's like, okay, well, something's probably going to go wrong. And if you look a lot at my commercials, like, the things that I've done, I'm the character who essentially wasn't really using the product, and then we reach other points in our storytelling where we are the teacher, or the person that's trusted. And when we have those stories and we have that essence about us, we have an obligation to bring messaging through and to hold other people up. And that's what I'm doing right now in my what I'm up to as a coach. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That does. So,
Yeah.
and I always find it interesting because I think I introduced you to my friend Sandra D. Robinson, who Sandra is, she was in the acting world, and she had the hardest time. Just be yourself. She didn't know who herself was.
Yeah.
Where that. All right. And you live that, and you're part of that. It's part of your life already. And, I didn't for the longest time know who Tim was, and I had to find that out.
Yeah.
We
do.
But I mean, you're doing it now. Are you helping your clients do the same now?
Yeah. And you know what, Tim, and you know this too, action breeds clarity. Like we only learn through going through the process. And, I didn't come out doing content right away, video, knowing exactly what my message was. And I'm still learning. And now in today's climate, we all have to pivot. We have to pivot. We have to think outside the box, and we're gifted as entrepreneurs because we're, the eternal optimists, right? And we have this opportunity to think outside the box and not only do it for ourselves, but to bring it to thousands of people and to help them do the same thing. So yeah, we don't know exactly all the time, and we change.
I got an email. Oh my gosh, my email might be working.
Yay!
It's like the scariest thing in the world when your email doesn't work. Anyway, so sorry, that was a weird celebration.
That's okay. I just want to go back to that, how I bring, who I am and my character. Yeah. Like I'm also an eternal goofball. Like I love to have fun, and I oftentimes will, in the most inappropriate way, like want to, bring in a laugh or bring in something a little more lightheartedness. And I know right now everyone's very serious about what's going on, but and I know this may rub someone the wrong way, but I feel like it's more than ever, it's important for us to bring joy into people's lives.
You're the practical joker, all right. Have you ever crossed the line that you went, oh shit, I wished I wouldn't have done that?
Oh my God, I'm the person who puts her foot in her mouth so often, more than not. And thank God I do comedy, because I can use the material.
So I did one time. I'm going to tell you this just to make fun, and you'll probably fall into this trap once.
Okay.
I'm sitting at an event. This is way before I was doing coaching. I was working at Starbucks at the time, and I go to an event for a friend of mine's birthday, and it's like a long table, all right, with people on either sides of the table for this party. And I'm sitting here, this couple across from me is the husband, right next to me is the wife. And I'm talking to him throughout the whole night.
Okay.
And this is like, yeah, you may see where this is going. He's going through the whole bar. Yeah, check her out. Yeah, boy, oh man, I'd like to do that. Oh yeah. So then, and every now and then I have a conversation with the wife. Okay. And I'm just listening to these guys. I'm not trying to sit there and judge or put this down or anything. And I'm like totally quiet about it. And at the end of the night, she's all like, I just love you, Tim. So she says, honey, get a picture with me and Tim. Right? So picture the two of us. So then I says, how about one of these ones where you give me a kiss on the cheek right here? So she does. She gives a kiss on the cheek. And I turned and kissed her and locked lips right when he shot the picture. And he got mad.
God.
And he got mad. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, you deserve that, dude.
Oh my God.
I crossed the line. But truthfully, I know the whole night, what was he doing the whole night? All right. He sat there the whole night while I'm sitting there talking to his wife and him going, oh yeah, man. Yeah. Looking at every other girl in the place. And I'm just being Mr. Tim. Hi, I'm Tim, talking to people. And you're sitting there telling me about all these other girls and the fact that your wife's sitting there right next to me while you're telling me this.
Oh my God.
She turned her head. You deserve what you got, buddy. All right. They got up and left. And I'm like, bye.
That was it. And the picture's out there forever. And oh my God, they probably stayed up all night fighting over that.
They probably did. Yeah. I didn't mean for them to fight, but I did. I hope it taught him a lesson. I really do. I would never sit there to some other guy, all right, sitting next to my wife and do that.
Okay. Yeah, no. So it sounds, no. I haven't done that. No.
But that's like the joke that I crossed the line on.
A lot of times I'll, say something. Gosh, I can't even think of it because I guess I don't want to embarrass myself, but I can't think of, I'm sure you'll help me with this, but I can't right now what, right at the moment, but yeah.
So, but
I've done to embarrass myself.
Yeah. I do a lot of lighthearted things. And like my friend Craig, who's my mentor, I've done in his boot camp. I was known for the practical joker there. Like I pulled off jokes, but then every now and then I throw this heartfelt thing in that, like, you know what I mean? Craig just loves me and I love him. And we always do these things to each other. Now we pot shot at each other, but like we've kind of stopped pulling the practical jokes on because we're worried about offending people.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that, but
I guess I don't do like the practical. It's not really the practical jokes. I'll do stuff like, okay, here I have a story. Like I'll tell an embarrassing story. So years ago, when I first started acting in New York, it was called, the play we did was 5 women wearing the same dress. So we were all bridesmaids at a wedding, and we're all in these big purple dresses. And it was we were in our 20s, and it was a big house, big audience. The only problem was, and I'm kind of going to give you the punchline, sort of, because the problem was that we didn't have a bathroom backstage. And so in the middle of one of our productions, and there's like, I don't know, like 200 people in the audience, we all had to use the restroom, and the play ran really long. It was like an hour and a half play. So there was nowhere to go. And when you're performing, like that's the last thing you want to do is like have to go to the bathroom, because you can't concentrate on your lines. You can't concentrate on your marking. And so there was, this is typical of things so there was a vintage teapot in the back of the theater. And I thought, well, one of 6 kids, and I've done a lot of camping, and we're very resourceful in my family. And so I thought, well, we've got a teapot.
Yeah.
So, big dresses, little teapot. Those are the sorts of things. We were laughing so hard and had the best time. And it's a story we get to tell like over and over and over again. So no kissing anyone on the lips, but it was really funny at the time.
I don't think I've shared that story in probably 7 years of what I did. So, I mean, it's weird. The things that we remember that we did that were like funny, but they were embarrassing at the moment.
Yeah, totally. And fun.
So you worked in you worked in acting, and you've done Broadway type shows in New York, or
yeah.
All right.
Not
When you moved to LA,
Broadway.
have you done? Did you start doing TV shows or just commercials?
Yeah. So once I moved to LA, I stopped doing stage, and I got more into commercials and TV. And then I did a stint on a show called Selfie, which was on ABC with John Chu and Karen Gillian, which was so much fun. We had a prime slot, which was 8:00 on Tuesday nights. And so that was a blast. The only thing is and I do lots of commercials. I love doing commercials and film. The only thing with, acting jobs is you're always waiting to be hired,
Wow.
and so right now, it's an amazing opportunity we have to be creating our own content. And that's one of the reasons I moved into, and I'm still acting, but I also, I'm doing coaching more now and teaching entrepreneurs and business owners how to get on camera and basically like just press the record button and start making content, because right now it's the thing that will save businesses. Doing video content, we can't talk lightly about it. Like, it's literally the thing that will save businesses. And in our communities as thought leaders, we have to go out in our communities and we have to protect them. And we have to go to our business owners that are in the neighborhood, like here in LA. I'm just brainstorming 24/7 with them and other businesses that I support in how to take their business, create video content, and think outside the box. And now's the time we do that. And as an actor, I have those skills, so I'll do whatever I can to serve people in doing that, because it's dire.
Are you thinking of doing any of your content in like mini shows, or not just talking to the camera, but like performing a mini show and recording it? Are you doing anything like that right now on your own?
I'm not doing that right now. I've been hired on a couple of projects that are on hold for obvious reasons. But my video content right now is really in helping businesses get video made and get people on camera that aren't used to being on camera, or people who are making video content and not being effective with it, to stop wasting their money and like do it in an effective way.
Yeah.
Because if you're not being authentic and you're not hitting like, 1, 2, 3 in your videos, and it's wasting time and money. So like, let's get focused and let's get people being effective.
Okay. So of all the people you are seeing right now, and right now we've got a wave of people trying to create videos online and create content because they're trying to come to the game late.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mistake you see they're making right now that you would tell them to stop doing it?
A lot of people are just like throwing stuff out there. One of the things you have to do is like, and this, and I know, like, you have to ask your audience what they need. Like, figure out what they need. Like, some of the stuff that I'm creating, I created because I asked my audience, like, what do you guys need? And they, a lot of people were like, oh, gosh, I've never done a Facebook Live. So I ran a Facebook Live, what's it called? Not competition, but challenge in my group with my content creators. And it was like a bunch of them had never done a Facebook Live. And by the end of it, at the end of 5 days, they were so confident they'd opened up a group, were serving their audiences and doing Facebook Lives and looked like pros.
Yeah.
And so, my job, I feel, is like take that to the next level, because as an actor, you have like half a second when you walk in the room to be the character and to sell yourself in that role. And if you don't do that, there's like 5,000 people waiting for that one part,
Yeah.
So you get really good at it. You get really good at trimming the fat and realizing like what marks to hit and how to bring it home and how to serve the project.
I totally get it. And that's what I tell all my clients, practice, practice, practice. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. It doesn't matter. All right. Even writing sales copy, which I teach quite a bit, is write, write, write. The worst thing the worst thing you can do is quit writing. Pick something off your desk and practice. How do I sell this pen? That's exactly what you're trying to tell people to do with the video.
Yeah. But first,
so-
know who needs the pen, right? Like, who needs the pen?
Yeah, that's it. Is I don't know if you know Bob Circosta. I know Bob Circosta from Home Shopping Network, and Bob and I had conversations around this. And he tells all of his students who are how do you sell like when you go on TV? He wrote this whole trademark thing. What's so good about it? So everything you talk about, try to explain what's so good about that feature you just told him, and he's really great at doing it. I'm trying to learn from him how to get better. It's an area I'm trying to learn in right now. And it's great to be plugged into mentors like him.
Yes, mentors. I just today made a list of all my mentors and the leaders and the people that I really look up to.
So let's go into that thing with mentors. All right. Do you have somebody, say, from your childhood, all right, that gave you this like piece of advice that you'd consider them as a great mentor? And it may have been one line of advice they gave you because it changed your life in a way.
Yeah. Wow. Gosh, nobody's ever asked me that question. My mom, when I was younger, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't all song and roses in my house growing up. It was quite dysfunctional. But through and through, she always said, make sure, because I would sometimes feel I was lacking when it came to giving a gift to somebody because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And so I would always create something. I would sew it, or I remember I made business cards for people. Like I was always an entrepreneur, like as a young kid. And I'd always come up with a creative solution or a creative gift. And sometimes I'd go to her in tears and I was like, Mom, like this sucks. I remember once I sewed for my best friend, my sister and I sewed these purple feet. And it was her birthday and we each sewed one, and my sister's was like all short and mine was long and they didn't match. And we gave them and we felt, I felt so bad. And my mom said, she said, there's not another gift like that in the world. Like what you just created is so special because you created it. And through all my life and all the stories and the dysfunction and the things that have happened, it's so great to go back to that because it's always been something in my heart. And now more than ever, especially in today's climate, I'm really relying on that because I can take any situation and look for a creative solution for it.
And wow. It's true. I mean, I love that right there. I mean, every piece is really, people who are watching this, any piece of content you create is a piece that no one else can create because you're you.
Yeah.
My mentor was Zig Ziglar. There's a million people with Zig Ziglar stories out there. No one's got the story I had with Zig Ziglar. Yeah. And that's exactly it, Patti. Oh my gosh, that is so eye-opening.
Yeah. And you know what? You just said something super important too. And Zig Ziglar is like massively amazing, right? And nobody really knows my mom right now.
Yeah.
But the truth be told, like sometimes the advice we get and the gifts we get that really land in our heart, that move us forward in our lives, are the people who want to live through us. If you are a leader, if you're a thought leader and you have the potential to lead the pack right now, that's your calling. Like that's your soul calling you forward to like do something important. And I don't know. Like I think that's super important. And you asked like what people are doing wrong right now, and I hate pointing out ever what people are doing wrong, but these are desperate times, and if you come from desperation, it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for because people are authentically afraid, and they need to feel supported and guided and loved. And if that's authentically who you are as a person, that's the piece that needs to come through, because one of the protection things, so it's like, what is it? Like we want to protect, pivot, and prosper right now. Yeah. The three, right? We talked about pivoting and taking your business into video content, but the protection part is like protect your cash, protect your clients, protect your community. And so like, navigate your cash, figure out what you definitely need to be using, and trim off the fat, what you don't need to be doing. Protect your clients, like keep the clients that you have, take care of them. If they're always the ones that are paying you, like slide with a couple things, or work with your rates. Just keep them in connected with them. They need you and you need them. And then in community like us, Tim, right? Work on connecting with the people you can get your message out to more people with. Because that authenticity and that realness, that's what more people need to be doing. I do see a lot of that happening as well. So I just wanted to go back and finish my answer to that other question you asked me. I'm very thorough.
No, it's really good. And I do, but yeah, in that way is like, you know what I mean? I want to help people by, most people right now can't afford to call you or me to get help. And they're just out there creating content. Right. And I'm hoping some of them will watch this and go, oh, wow, maybe I shouldn't do that. All right. Because, some of the stuff I'm giving on, I give away right now live, like you are, is, the stuff people pay me $3,000 and $10,000 a year for. Yeah. And that's it. We've got to help people right now. And that's it. So we want to, we don't want to pick on you for what you're doing wrong, but we want to help you do it right so you get results.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Results are super important, and also like are going to help you grow, and they're going to help your business grow. Because it's like the goal is, right? The goal is we come through this thing at a point, a launch point, right? That we are in a better situation than we were before. Setting that vision, setting that goal, and living into it, and reverse engineering it is key right now for our mindset, and also for what we're building, which is super important. Is it okay if I share what I'd like to give away? Is that
you can share that? I'm going to let you share it right now.
I'd like to. So I've along these asking the audience what they needed. I wanted to create something really super effective. So I created a 1, 2, 3 approach to getting on camera, where you can make a video that's a minute, or however long your video is. These 3 components, essentially, we're going to hit in this free webinar that I'm doing next week, April 1st. So I think I sent you the link, or we can put the link in the,
I'm going to put it in the comments down below.
Okay, good. So and they can also go to my website, Patti Troisi, PattiTroisi.com, and go to events, and it's in there, and you can click. There's a link in there to sign up for it. Anyone on the email list is going to get the link to the free webinar next Wednesday, which I hope to run live, because I would like to not only share, but I also want to bring in a couple of examples, like while we're live like this, which is much more fun. Yeah. So get a little goof on. You've done this is going to be your second webinar series. Is that correct? So this is just a webinar. I have a series that I'm developing coming up. So we met through the content creation show, and Jake Valentine, who's phenomenal, right? Speaking of mentors. So that series I'm going to start developing after I launch this webinar.
I'm not going to put that up on screen. It's too big.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was like, no, more technical.
It's funny because like I normally on everything go create this simple, easy domain name and then put it up, and I can't right now because none of my sites are working. Anyway.
That's can I talk about that too? Oh my God, I'm such a chatter. Tell me when I need to be quiet.
Don't worry about it. We still got about another 10 minutes. So, hey, we got time.
Good, because I want to talk about this. When did we put the bar at perfection? You know, like I do it to myself, and my link is not a pretty link. No. It's like you got to actually click on it, because if you had to type it in, it'd be a pain in the ass. So, but I'll figure that out. The thing is, like, again, action breeds clarity, and we have to just be in action, just get it done, do the best we can, and we're going to screw up. And if you're screwing up, you know what? It means that you're trying. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I've learned throughout the years on how to make them simple. Like, you know what I mean? If my site was up right now, all right, I can always do timgillette.com / and a page and make that a term. That's another way to simplify it. All right. And send it there. But anyway, I'm right now stuck that like, every now and then email pops back on and bloop pops back off right now. And I'm like, I've been dealing with this for like 4 hours today going, yeah. And I was up until 2:30 this morning working on a website for an event that I'm being part of next week that I'm trying to do a webpage for. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even finish working on it.
What is that?
Next week, I'm doing a virtual event for a lady here in town.
Oh,
this
cool.
weekend, I'm doing an event that's would normally been going on the East Coast, but it's going to be virtual.
I love these virtual events. So fun.
I want to be there in person.
I know, but we're lucky we have it. I know. I'm the same. I'm so social. I know.
I hate traveling by plane, but I'd rather be there in person. That's just me.
Yeah. Our mastermind tonight's having a get together, and everyone's showing up. There's like, I don't know, hundreds of us. Maybe no. Actually, no. I think there's only 80, 85. And we're going to get together, do a virtual party. So, yeah. But you're a night owl, right? You were up late last night.
Yeah, I've been doing, you know what I mean, an online every night at 5:30 my time, sometimes 6:30, depending on what's going on. When I do a virtual happy hour.
Oh, you do? Cool.
Yeah. So like grab a drink, come sit, and I use this room and everything. Come grab a drink, let's talk, let's chat about your day. And
so good.
Nothing like that's like, you know, overwhelming or anything like that. But anyway, just to hang out.
Like I've been, you know, being trapped in the house is like making me crazy a little. So I've been coaching everyone I happen to get on the phone. So I was on with this woman from eScripts the other day who's a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, hey, you need to do video content. And by the time she got off the phone, she's going to create this cute little story time that she's going to do like once. Well, she'll probably do it once a week to start. And then she'll like just share that in her community and just sit with her 2-year-old, read a story, and just like invite the community in and give moms, you know, whatever, maybe half an hour time off during that time. But listen, she's going to build her business that way, right? Like super simple.
So I'm noticing a lot of actors, stars, musicians doing live streams right now. Yesterday, I seen one with John Bon Jovi.
Oh, wow.
Stephen Vai, Garth Brooks, but Garth's been doing them for a while. Keith Urban.
Oh, okay.
They're just getting on and singing songs that, you know what I mean, that their fans like to hear. I think seeing someone else, and I can't remember who it was. It just like, you know, well, actor Glenn Morshower, which I know, I don't know if you know Glenn. Glenn, he's at home, so he gets on and talks to people. All right. And he's just a great inspirer.
Yeah.
But he's doing it. He's like, why not? Why aren't, you know, that's the one thing that stars should do right now is they get on and talk to the people who can't. And, you know, I mean, they got to do is read the comments and do whatever they say. And John Bon Jovi was creating songs that people were sending the lyrics to, and he was creating a song out of it. And I thought that was so awesome.
Cool. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. I love the creativity so much. We need it right now more than ever.
And like, you know what I mean? Because like I hate to turn the TV on right now because like it brings, you know, in breaking news, whatever, you know, it's not good news.
No.
So I don't want to see it.
No.
We're starting now to watch the shows that we have backed up. Like we watch Last Man Standing is a huge one. We watched that we've got a couple episodes for a couple weeks backed up because I've been on the road through February and never got to catch up. We still have the Million Little Things to catch up on all of them. We haven't watched any of the Million Little Things for this season.
We should get people watching Selfie again. We got kicked off the air, I think, by episode 5, and then Hulu picked us up. But it'd be fun to get those episodes going again. It's a cute little show. Gosh, you got my wheels turning there. Think about that.
Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, the one show that I seen over the years that really got people engaged using social media and stuff was it Supergirl? Do you remember when Supergirl came out?
Yeah. So David on that show, the guy who plays the Martian, he was on Selfie with me. He was my boss.
Okay.
David Harewood.
Okay. I never watched the show, and it's funny because I know Glenn Morshower was on the show, and Glenn's my friend. And very rarely catch the shows Glenn's on when he's on them. I wait till later and see them. He was on 24. I've never watched 24. And him and I were driving from Newport Beach back to LAX one time, and we're in the car talking. And I says, and he's told me something. I was like, Glenn, I got to be honest with you. I've never seen 24. And he says, I know. Yeah, I says, I'm still a fan of yours, but I said, I've never was it. And I never got into it. I never watched it.
Right.
And he says, that's okay. He says, I still love you. You're still my friend.
Yeah. I know. I do the same thing. I have a girlfriend who's on big TV shows constantly, and I'm like, I can't keep up. Yeah. But now's the time, right? Now we can watch those shows.
Yeah, now's the time. You know what I mean? There's certain stuff that I'm watching now that I've had put up. I am still trying to keep a lot of, I still like to watch my Shark Tank, things like that to keep me in business. I like to keep my business wheels turning. So if I'm watching something just for zone out comedy, all right, it doesn't always work that well because I'll start picking up my laptop and doing work.
Do you know what I'm telling my clients now? Imagine it's a pie chart, right? Wait, how do I? Oh, it's mirror opposite. Okay.
Yeah, it is opposite.
Have it. Okay, pie chart, round, not like what I just did. And so carve out your time, carve out because for me, I actually have to carve out time to rest and relax and just be goofy, watch those shows. And my daughter and I this weekend, we're gonna do a camp out in the living room on Saturday, and we're gonna do a Harry Potter binge. And so we're gonna do a sleepover. She's like, let's have a sleepover. I'm like, yes. So we're gonna do a sleepover, and that'll be really fun. But carve out time for all your stuff, your rest and relaxation, your exercise, your mind stuff, yoga, whatever, and meditation. And also for those of you who aren't doing it, carve out time to do business strategy. Do your video content. Did I mention video content? Do your video content and just make the time for it on the schedule. And then, I did that yesterday. I've started working with Brandon Burchard's book. It's amazing. I actually did my half-hour increments throughout the day, and I actually had more time to myself on the days that I've done that than the days that I don't.
Wow.
And it really surprised me. At the end of the day, I was like, what just happened? I actually feel better than I did the days when I didn't schedule my day.
Wow.
Now than ever, since we're locked in our homes, it's important to do that. So,
well, this is something I've been asking people during this series. All right, who are locked at home? Do you have a routine mapped out then, or just you're just doing this?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I didn't have a routine, and now I do. So I actually, I don't have the journal right now, but I ordered the journal, Brendon Burchard's journal. And so there's, you ask certain questions in the morning about your day, your top three hits for, goals that you want to hit or tasks that you need to do. And then your day is incremental in half hours. And sounds so anal retentive. But again, when I did it, so I wake up, I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule, whereby 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, my feet hit the floor because I don't want to get out of bed when I know I could sleep in, not have to be anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I get the dog out, get the kettle going, wake up my kid. She has school online, and then I get into a yoga class. Before I do anything, I get my mind set in the right place before I check emails, before I do anything. And that really sets off my day on the right foot. And then I get on my calendar and I look at my to-do list. I look at my schedule, and I'm scheduling everything. And one of my goals is to at least once a week to be talking to a new audience and spreading my message and connecting. So I get all over that. I schedule the time, and there's lots of things for us to be doing. So yeah. And then I schedule myself out. I'm scheduling myself out at a certain time. That's it. I'm done for the day. So I think that's more effective than not doing it, actually.
Yeah, I have a thing where I was trying, up until this, and I started doing my nighttime virtual happy hour. When my wife came home, that was it. I closed up upstairs, walked downstairs, and shut the office down. But now I'm here at night because I'm doing this virtual happy hour. Because that's what my audience wants, and you got to give your audience what they want.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's each and every one of you have got to create a routine that fits you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. That's why I'm asking most people what their routine is, because most people are like, oh, what do I do in my routine? Your routine is not theirs. My routine is not theirs. You as a listener have a different one.
Yeah. Well, can they tell us now? Is it alive? Like, is it live like that, or we have to wait to put it into your? Are they making comments now, or?
I've not gotten any comments on this, and I don't know whether there's the glitches hit with Facebook and YouTube today. So I mean, but the recording will be up, and we can get the questions and just go back in and ask them later.
You made a really good point about doing your happy hour, which is like connect to community. Connect to community, schedule that in your day, even if it's just like half an hour. You don't think you need it, but then when you get on a FaceTime with a friend, or with family or loved ones, and just make that time. Or even like I scheduled time to have lunch with my daughter yesterday. It was crazy. Like, it was so sweet, and we both didn't want it to end. And she's a teenager. She thanked me for my time. I was like, what just happened? Like, that's crazy. So just like schedule the time in and really take care of your heart and your wellness.
Cool.
Yeah.
One more time, I want you to say your website. All right, for people, because this is going to be audio too, so we want the audio people to be able to hear the website.
Yes. So my website is www.Patti, Patti, Troisi, T as in Tracy, ROISI.com. And then go to events and click on the webinar that is April 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is pivoting your business using video content.
Cool.
Can I just say my email too, which is Patti,
you can do that too.
PATTIT 4 me at gmail.com. If you want to reach me, you can reach me there.
If you want to have her on your show, which I encourage you to do. All right.
Thanks, Tim.
So, Patti, I like to finish up my show with a little game called This or That.
Oh my God. I know you well enough to be scared. Okay.
Oh, I have some questions.
Okay, let's go.
All right. You're a TV person. So, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Ooh, so that takes us into an alternate question. Kirk or Picard?
No. Can I? Oh,
now she wants to go back to Star Wars.
I want to go back to Star Wars.
Okay, well, that takes the Kirk or Picard out.
Okay, Star Wars.
It's all right. See, I have alternates for both. Anyway.
Fourth. Okay.
So this one here, I think I know because of where you live, but beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Shocked me there. Yeah. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
We're getting a lot of tea people this week. I don't know what it is. So I guess with the beach or mountains, we can go city or country.
Country right now.
Yeah. All right. How about wine or beer?
Wine.
Red or white?
Red.
Okay. Yeah, that shows your taste there, girl. Now you go to Napa a lot? Just curious.
Central Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, driving distance.
Yeah. I've been to a couple of Central Coast wineries. I love a few of them. Nice. Paso Robles. Yeah.
Paso Robles, I have really good friends in Paso.
Yeah, I love some of the wineries up there. So,
have you
tacos or hamburgers?
Say it again.
Tacos or hamburgers?
Tacos.
A lot of people going tacos this week.
Yeah.
So I've got two that you have to answer because they can cause wars, and I just want to know.
Tell me.
Toilet paper, under or over?
Over.
I mean, if you have toilet paper at this time.
Right. If you have it, over. Do you want to know why? Because I'm totally OCD. Because I like it. Like, I don't do this all the time, but when I envision like the perfect toilet paper, it's like tucked in the little V, like when you go to the hotels. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. So, and my last one is boxers or briefs.
Oh God. Briefs.
Okay, and there we have it. I think you're our first briefs this week.
I have reasons for that too, but we're not going to talk about it.
That's it. It just makes people go, oh.
Oh, you're so funny.
Hey, I like to have fun on my broadcast. I got to put some fun in there, and that's my fun is my this or that questions.
I think we could talk for another hour.
I know. And I got that this or that from watching. I watched Sammy Hagar's Rock and Roll Road Trip, and he does this or that, but it's different for every person. And I'm like, I've got to do that. I want that. Anyway,
like the Actors Studio, right? Yeah.
So anyway, it has been great hanging out with you today on the Tim Gillette show. But tell everybody again your website one more time.
PattiTroisi.com. PattiTroisi.com.
All right. And any closing thoughts you'd like to give them before we go away?
Guys, make video content now more than ever. You have to be effective with your video content. It could be the difference between your business making it or not making it. It's so, so important, and do it the right way.
Great advice. So, well, guys, Tim Gillette, and I here with another guest who had a great time here today. I'll be back. I'm trying to get 100 in 30 days. So, all right, you know somebody who should be on here. Maybe you should have them reach out to me, and we should interview them because I love finding out about who they are and what they're doing, and I just want to know whether they have toilet paper or under or over. I mean, just that's all I want to know. Huh? All right, guys, I'm Tim Gillette. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.